What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Just got done watching this Superman movie. I'm already going to tell y'all this to me is a 4 out of 10. The best thing I can say about this movie is the actor that plays Superman was brilliant. David Cornswept. I think that he is the second best Superman ever when we talking about live action performances. I think James Gunn picked the right Superman, and that's the best thing I can really say about this movie. To me, this movie was long, dull, and boring. Yes, it was. It was boring. So throughout this movie, we saw Superman. He's going against this character named Ultraman in the beginning. He just could not defeat this character right away. And then we got this other character named Engineer. Yes, we're living in the agenda world where we have to have a man go against a woman. No matter what, it's going to be female versus male. So we see this annoying dyke-like Super Saiyan Ray character of Engineer throughout the movie. She basically gets her ass beat throughout the movie. She is no real competition to Superman. It's really should have just been Ultraman to me versus Superman. I just felt like her being the third wheel kind of hurt the story, but that's just me. But you see throughout the beginning of the movie that the Engineer finds Superman's fortress, and she wants to just go in there and basically destroy the fortress and leave nothing there, basically. But Lex Luthor, he's like the brains, the engineer throughout this whole entire story. He said, calm down. He's going to come there basically so he can find out information about Superman so he can basically turn the world against Superman, because for some reason he just hates Superman to death that he will find any way, no matter what, even if it's to destroy the world. He wants the world to know that Superman is not a good person and he is a threat to society. That's basically Lex Luthor's job in this movie, to prove to the world that Superman is a threat and he doesn't belong in this earth, to be honest. Even to the point where Lex Luthor basically is God in this movie and created a ultra Earth, like a different type of planet. Like, I'm going to explain. It is so crazy throughout the movie what we witness. Could we talk about Superman's parents? Are y'all serious? It is like a hologram in the Superman's fortress, and his parents look like some goddamn Arabs that runs a gas station. They don't even look white. They look like some foreign people with, you know, how they dress. I'm like, what? I know Bradley Cooper is supposed to play Superman, but he looked like some foreign dude in this movie. But anyways, I thought that was kind of funny that his parents look like some goddamn Arabs. And I guess there was a message basically saying to Superman, we want you to conquer this planet, pick as many wives as you want, and, you know, just be the lion of this planet, be the tiger, be the meat and potatoes of this planet. And I guess America did not like that message, because Lex Luthor showed that message throughout the whole entire world. And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Dragon Ball Z. Remember Goku? He got sent to planet Earth to basically destroy the Earth or conquer the Earth, but he got hit in the head and stuff like that. So his whole mission basically changed. So it kind of reminded me of that. What would happen if Superman saw that whole entire message all the way through, because throughout his childhood, he only saw the first message from his parents, and then Lex Luthor, he showed the whole thing. So that would have been interesting to me. This movie, to me, the action scenes were okay. There's no viral moment in this movie. There's no moment in this movie I could say, this is amazing, I want to see this again. I will probably never see this movie again. This movie wasn't terrible. I do believe that this movie has saved James Gunn's job for now, but this was not my cup of tea. It just wasn't. Now, if y'all are scared that other characters was going to take over, like Superman's scene, like Hawk Girl, Supergirl, Green Lantern, and other characters like Mr. Terrific, don't be scared, because they were really barely in the movie. They just popped up doing scenes where Superman really needs some help. And this is a nitpick on the Superman character. Seriously, if you look at his face throughout the whole entire movie, you can see black hair dye throughout his whole entire face. Like, y'all didn't see that, James Gunn, when y'all was recording the film and all that. That was a terrible mistake. To me, this movie was missing a budget. Some of the scenes look fake. Some of the scenes shouldn't have been there. Crypto, let's talk about Crypto before I finish this movie review. He was not as annoying as I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be very annoying throughout the movie. He was really cute to me. I liked him throughout all the scenes except for the last scene. And I'm going to explain that throughout this review. The scene that I thought, oh my God, this felt like a Disney movie moment. And if I miss anything from this movie review, I'm going to be talking about this Superman movie throughout this week, throughout the rest of the week. So right below, if you think I missed anything on this movie review, and it's probably going to be explained in other videos, this is just a quick video of what I felt about this movie. But let's get back to the story. I love when Superman / Clark Kent was in Lois Lane's apartment, and Clark Kent promised Lois Lane that she would have an interview with Superman, and it really gets intense throughout the interview because people are just really mad that Superman keeps destroying property, and Superman, he's basically saying he's saving lives. And yes, I'm not from this world or even this country or whatever, but I'm here to save lives. Like, fuck y'all merchandise. But people are mad at Superman throughout the movie because he's destroying millions of dollars of property because he's saving lives. So that's basically what the interview was. I'm glad that Lois Lane did not have a big ass dick in this movie, because usually throughout the last 10 or 15 years, they do too much with Lois Lane. Sometimes she's actually fighting criminals in some of the shows or comic books or whatever. Like, they make her like she's a fucking action superhero her damn self. So I'm glad that they toned her down and she did not have the biggest cock in the movie. But I just thought it was silly, too, throughout the movie where she finally met Terrific to help save Superman. I thought it was really crazy that Terrific let Lois Lane drive, basically fly his vehicle. And I'm like, how the hell does Lois Lane know how to fly the spaceship, basically? I just thought that was weird, but whatever. So throughout the movie, I was just disappointed And I mean, I was just so disappointed on Lex Luthor. I'm thinking, because of the trailers I saw before this movie, I'm thinking that Lex Luthor was going to have that suit on. You know, that Superman Buster suit, like fighting Superman. He never had the suit on the whole entire time. He was always depending on Ultraman or Engineer to fight his battle. He was just basically the brains through the operation, but it kind of sucked that he was no threat to Superman, because there was times where Superman basically came to his face and was like, "What you gonna do, Lex Luthor?" And Lex Luthor really couldn't do a goddamn thing. And that was, to me, disappointing. So towards the end of the movie, you see that Lex Luthor built this different dimension, something like you could just enter and it's a whole new world. And he captures Superman, and Superman basically turned himself in basically to save his dog Crypto. I thought that was kind of cute and stupid at the same time, but hey, they gotta extend the plot, you know? So Superman basically turned himself in, and then we see Metamorpho. To me, he's a very cool character, except in this movie, he looks soft, he looks sensitive, even though he's a very, very powerful character. I guess Lex Luthor has his son, so that's why he's doing his bidding. And he basically got some kryptonite through his body to basically hurt Superman and basically kill Superman off, because that's what Lex Luthor wants. And then he was with Lex Luthor until Lex Luthor just got some innocent guy from the streets that knew Superman and shot him in the head. And then that's where Methor, I can't even say his name right. That's when he turned against Lex Luthor, and he had a plan with Superman to try to get out of this cage and try to save his son. And that's when he stopped using the kryptonite. That's when Superman saved his son, and they got out of this crazy little world that Lex Luthor built. Lex Luthor in this movie, to me, is just, he's insane over Superman. Like almost a bad crush. Like, it makes no sense why he hates Superman this much to the point he's willing to destroy everything he built in love for Superman. I don't get it. I wish he had the Superman Buster suit. I don't get why he didn't have that. So let's get to the point where Superman basically defeated Engineer, because I told y'all in the beginning of the movie that Engineer was basically no threat, and then now he's going against Ultraman. This pissed me off. Eventually, we find out that Ultraman is just a clone of Superman. This is terrible. This is generic plot device, boring writing. We could have got so many other characters. To me, Bizarro would have been cool for Superman's first villain in this universe. Superman versus Bizarro, I think that would have been awesome. Or Superman versus Cyborg, that would have been cool. And Superman went against Cyborg Superman, I would have liked that. Would it be cool if they hired Henry? Out of anybody, they hired Henry to play Cyborg Superman or something? That would have been awesome. There was so many directions they could have went, but they gave us a boring sci-fi 1970 situation where he's going against his clone. That is so 1970. That is so cliche, boring, dull. James Gunn, are you serious? This is where I say, did they give James Gunn a good budget? It, could they not afford a villain in this movie? That's where I'm going at. I don't get it. That's the only thing to me that really hurt the movie. There was not a really, really good villain. To me, Lex Luthor was no threat, even though he was a super genius in this movie. He was really no threat. And then I'm going to name one more moment in this movie that pissed me off like really, really bad. Remember when I said Crypto the dog, how every scene was basically a good scene in the movie he was in, except for the end. This to me felt like a Disney fairy tale moment when Superman finally wins, but we see Crypto the dog basically almost kill Lex Luthor. We see this stupid dog almost kill Lex Luthor, the villain of the story that's evolved around him that looked like it was just so easily beaten. I'm like, why did this movie have to last for 2 fucking hours if his fucking dog can fucking defeat? No, I don't get that. Too many forced jokes. This movie, to me, was average at best. The only thing saving this movie was they picked the right actor to play Superman for the next 10 to 15 years. I like David as Superman. I think he is an amazing Superman. I felt his energy throughout the whole entire movie. And I love, basically, you could say, was his partner or sidekick or whatever. Mr. Terrific was amazing in this movie. I was shocked. I thought he was just going to be this token black character that is just in it for pop-up scenes and stuff. But I really felt like the moments where he was in the movie, he showed a lot of action. He was really important throughout the movie. And Marvel and DC needs to learn. When you put black characters in a good light, it makes the movie so much better. But I like Mr. Terrific. He, to me, reminded me of Batman. I felt like he was like a more comic relief Batman. I like that. I would not mind seeing a movie or something with Mr. Terrific if we get this version. There is one point I forgot about this movie that I really, really hated. Jimmy Olsen. He's really known to be like a loser in the comic books, geeky, nerdy, whatever. Even in this movie, he was kind of dorky. And he really has the phone number to this girl he used to go to school with that's dating Lex Luthor. That's not believable. To me, that's not believable. This hot chick that's dating a millionaire got this loser number from high school. I didn't believe that. It was so many plot devices that were silly just to extend the story. Sorry for me not mentioning that in the beginning of the review. But towards the end of the review, the whole world find out that Lex Luthor basically set up Superman and stuff, and nobody's buying Lex Luthor, and he's basically a criminal that basically got the world almost destroyed because Lois Lane and the crew did their homework and stuff, and they broadcast it. So Lex Luthor went to jail and everything. This movie, to me, was average. Nothing about this movie was really, really good. There was no really great scene. I talked to people that seen this movie 2 or 3 times. I don't see how. This is a 4 out of 10, a 5 out of 10, a very average film. I'm not going to say that it was terrible. I didn't go to sleep like I'd done in previous DC films. I was up throughout the whole entire movie, so that was a plus, but it was a very average film. We're living in the days where average is greatness, because below average suck, and that's what they're putting out throughout the years. They're putting out terrible films. So when we get something average, people are going to sing Kumbaya. People are going to hold their hands and say, this is brilliant. Well, I'm not buying it. This was an average product. It will be videos of me talking about this throughout the week. So I hope y'all enjoy. And yes, I snuck in to watch this. I did not pay. You will see footage. You're going to see a lot of stuff. It's going to be a fun weekend. So please like and subscribe and share this video. Please.